Jimmy, come on. Come on, Jimmy. Come on. Come on. Come on, Jimmy. Come on, what do you see? Come on, Jimmy.
Well, you whipped him, big brother. Now, I think we'd better get back to the ranch.
Where'd he go?
That's been a real nice morning. I'll see you now here.
Squatters trespassing. Suggest injunction to remove them. Aquila Land Company Fraudulent Corporation. Jared Barkley, San Francisco.
Don't mean a thing. Anybody can send a telegram. We paid our money and we'll stand our ground. We ain't moving.
Nick, I don't want to keep getting in your hair. I know you're doing what you think is right.
Then don't.
Nick, you've got to let me say what I think. Now, there's one difference between you and me. I know what it is to be poor, and you don't.
Oh, now, are you trying to tell me that being poor is an excuse to steal?
No.
Did you ever have to steal, Heath?
No, but I've come pretty close to it when I couldn't eat mud anymore.
But you didn't, did you?
No, and neither have those people.
No, we just don't see eye to eye, do we?
Nick, if you'll just stop and listen one minute.
Stay out of this.
Nick, sometimes you get mad and do things you're sorry for.
Like what? Working my guts out to build this place up so someone can come along and squat on it, steal it out from under our noses? I'm warning you, Heath, you stay out of this.
Nick, like Jared said in the telegram, get a court order. Talk to the sheriff. Nick, there are women and children out there.
Oh, no, thank you, Heath. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. You're telling me now that I'm gonna go around shooting down women and children.
I don't mean that, but it could happen.
Either you stay out of this or I'm gonna bust the rest of these knuckles in your face.
I wish you would, Nick.
I didn't mean that.
What do you want?
Callahan, what I'm going to tell you is about as true and sensible as a man can get.
We're not leaving. We paid our money and we're honest people.
Callahan, that's Nick and some of our men coming. And they've got guns. Now, if you want to see this land fertilized with somebody's blood, then don't listen to me.
What is it you've got to say?
Look, Callahan, I believe you. I know you paid your money. Somebody swindled you, but it wasn't us. Now, Nick is not a bad man, but right now he's mad.
Well, I'm mad too. Why should I believe what you tell me?
If somebody starts shooting, there could be somebody dead. You, Nick, Sharon, the children. Is it worth that?
All right, Callahan, the fooling's over. Load up these wagons.
Callahan, please.
Callahan, tell your friend to get out of the way.
Put that shotgun away. You're not going rabbit hunting. It'd only blow up on you if you tried to use it.
All right, we'll go. It won't be the first time poor people lost land they were trying to feed themselves on. I want you to be proud of yourself, Nick Barkley.
You've got thousands of acres as far as your eyes can see. And there are 6 families here that have lost all their money, got no place to go. And when winter comes, the children are going to be crying from the hunger and the cold. You be proud of that.
Nick?
Yeah? What do you want?
Why don't you talk to Heath?
You can tell Heath to take a jump for himself.
One of you ought to give in.
Well, it's not going to be me. You stay out of this.
Would you like a cup of coffee, Mr. Nick?
Well, now, what is this? Am I getting sympathy or something? I threw some squatters off our land.
Oh, nobody's giving you sympathy, Nick. It's just maybe you're going too far.
Too far? You're the one that came screaming for action when you got your backside paddled. Well, now, what are you waiting around here for?
Nothing?
Guess you think I should do something for these people, huh?
I didn't say that.
Silas, if you say to me, Mr. Nick, your father would have done such and such, I'm going to take you and that dust rag and throw you both right out the window.
Go ahead. It's your wonder. I'm not telling you what to do, Mr. Nick.
How much you want?
Do whatever you please. That's the way I always do.
Silas, what if I said to you to take the wagon and throw a couple of sides of beef in it along with a couple of sacks of flour and take it out to them tomorrow?
I wouldn't fuss about it none. That's up to you, Mr. Nick.
Then do it! And get out of here, I'm busy.
All right, Mr. Nick. I guess you know your own mind.
Jimmy, we've got to do one thing or another. We can't just sit here.
We made a great bargain for us, finding that land agent. Now look.
You did your best, son. And I'm proud you stopped the fighting. We're law-abiding people.
The law belongs to them like the Barclays. The rich make their own laws.
Not all of them, Jimmy. There's no law says we can't be together. Can't trust each other.
Shall we pack up? They want to know.
Everybody. Nick must have gotten my wire.
Not even Silas. Well, they're just not anxious to see us, that's all.
The least Nick could have done is left word at the station.
Nick! Heath! Audra!
Silas?
Really?
Yes, sir.
What? What's going on? Audra?
A dirty trick on her.
Which way, Jimmy? Which way do we head?
No, we're not going to go. We paid our money and we're not going to move. We've come 7,000 miles and we've been duped and pushed around and laughed at, and now we're going to fight. Give me that shotgun, Hogan. The Barclays have got more land than they can use, and we are not going to starve.
Jimmy, don't be saying something we'll all be sorry
Now, what's
for.
the use of running, Ma? We're going to stay right here, all of us. And if they want to come and throw us out, they're going to have to fight every man, woman, and child with pitchforks, stones, and clubs. If they want to fight, we'll give them a good one. Yeah. Give me that horse, Hogan.
Jimmy! You're right, Jimmy! We're right behind you to a man! We're right behind you.
If we don't want to move, they can't move us. Now get yourselves clubs and stay in the wagon. And if they bring me back on a board, continue the fight. Where's Nick Barkley?
Mr. Barkley is...
Get out of my way. Where is he?
Silas, did you see the package with the... I didn't know we had a visitor.
I'm looking for Nick Barkley.
Do you always come calling with a shotgun, Mr.
Callahan. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Who are you?
I'm Nick's mother, and this is my home you have just broken into.
Well, this is between me and him. Where is he?
Do you plan to shoot him?
I plan to stand up for what's right and not be pushed around.
Mr. Callahan, Nick would put a half a dozen holes right through you by the time you got that shotgun cocked and ready. Now, you don't want that, do you?
Maybe he wouldn't, maybe he wouldn't. But we're not going to be pushed off land that we paid our hard-earned cash for.
I see. Silas, would you take the gentleman's hat? Perhaps I can get you something, a glass of port or tea?
And he can't hide behind his mother's skirts, either.
Well, you don't want to shoot me, do you?
I only want what's right.
Silas, do we have any Irish whiskey? Perhaps Mr. Callahan would join me in a glass. A gentleman wouldn't refuse.
Don't be using your grand manners with me. This is no business for a woman to be meddling in, if you pardon my saying so.
Well, perhaps it would have been better if a woman had meddled from the beginning. Now, I'm very sorry for what's happened, Mr.
You're
Callahan.
sorry? Then why is he pushing 6 families out to starve?
My son Jared checked the land agent who swindled you when we were in San Francisco. He's wanted by the law, and you have absolutely no legal rights to occupy...
Callahan! Get out of this house!
Oh, put down that ridiculous gun. Nick, stop shouting when I'm speaking to a guest.
Mother, that's the squatter I was telling you about.
Nick, come down here. You don't want Mr. Callahan to shoot me while you're gone, do you?
I'm sorry, Mrs. Barkley. I came here to shoot your son, not you.
Oh, well, then you'll want to drop before the serious work. Sit down, Mr. Callahan.
Your health, Mrs. Barkley. And bad luck to your son.
Callahan, get out of this house. What kind of a hooligan are you busting into a man's home?
Nick, apologize to our guest.
That'll be the day.
Such rudeness. How do you put up with it, Mrs. Barkley, from your own son?
Callahan, either you get out of here or I'll throw you out.
Nick, you sit over there. I said...
Your health. May it all be bad.
Oh, you both could do one sensible thing.
What's that?
Stop insulting each other.
You'll pardon me, Mrs. Barkley. You're a fine woman, but there's lots about your son needs insulting.
I don't think that's very funny, Mr. Callahan. I'm trying hard to make sense out of this thing.
Sense? You'll never make sense with that bull-headed hooligan.
Nick, please. Now, you must find the man who took your money and get it back. Until then, tell your people they can stay where they are.
Stay where they are!
Well, that's a decent offer, Mrs. Barkley. You're a fine woman.
Stay where they are, and Callahan will go off hunting this swindler of his if one ever existed, and that'll be the last we'll see of him for 6 months. And then we'll never get rid of them. And if I stay here long enough, they get squatters' rights, and every court in the country will back them up.
No, they won't. And, Mr. Callahan, when you do get your money back, buy some other property. Our land is not for sale. Is that clear?
Fair enough. I promise you we'll leave as soon as we get our legs under us.
Good. Now, shake hands.
With him? No.
I want you both to go together and find that man.
Together? Now, Mother, what sense is there in that?
Where's your respect for your mother?
Shake hands.
We'll do what your mother says.